So, I got a fresh little list of hot topics. Most of it is respects for different branches of, elite operators or special departments of government that I respect, which there's handfuls. But anyway, so I'm going to start this one with off-grid lessons from a British SAS gentleman that I respected, and I learned some very valuable, interesting things that I would like to share with the world. But it was at a music festival, maybe the one that I took, children or kids to, nieces, whatever, that was all educational workshops, but it was around Berea, Kentucky either way, because all of the little events there are educational workshops, and that's what I respect about that town. It's a, farming community that works on permaculture and sustainable living practices, and I truly respect that, theme, the atmosphere, the good positive vibes. But anyway, the point of this is there was at one of these events a British SAS retired, operator, soldier, and he has an off-grid farm where he takes a little bitty trickle of stream, and by changing the angle of the stream, he can have a different water turbine in each little pool that he makes. Dams off a little area and makes a little pool, and then, uses gravity down this little bitty hill. I think is a 7-degree, thing, and each one, I believe that's the number of what the slope has to be to make it have, just a little trickle of water, make enough flow to run these little water turbines that generate enough power to power like 3 to 5 little farms about his size around him, just off of his little stream. And, because I loved it, because I thought of something similar to that down skyscrapers when I was studying how to make skyscrapers off-grid as a, teenager or whatever, when I came up with the idea of wanting to have tinted, like, solar film on the windows instead of just regular tint to make it not reflect to a magnifying glass to burn other buildings with the sunlight reflecting. So instead of, just regular tints, I wanted solar film, and I wanted all of the buildings to have cisterns and water filtration systems and water impellers and turbines the whole way down the building to generate its power, with also offsetting it with the solar. But anyway, so that's why I really respected this guy's lessons, and just went and listened to him for hours when he wasn't even, or as long as I could. I think his first lesson was maybe an hour, and which I went to 2 or 3 of his workshops and then sat and listened to him by a fire. And he was telling stories of how he had to eat roadkill for days, and his main thing that he ate in the desert was possums, and had to learn how to cut out the rot, and to not get sick, and how he said that sick was a sick that nobody would want. So I really respected what his stories and his lessons and what he went through, and always had a respect for Royal Marines and British SAS, and I don't always respect the governments that send these soldiers to war, but I've always respected soldiers. And I'm going to make a couple posts on some of those different, what I respect about some of those different, what I would say operators or engineers, some of them. But anyway, prayers and blessings to all that feel me. I just hope this makes you think about the power that you can do with just a little trickle stream of water. This guy ran multiple little farms off of his little streams of water, and I was amazed by it. I like gasification. There's a, Amazing Homemade Gasifier was one of my videos that I've shared with many thousands of people, where you can make gas out of wood and run your car or run your house, there's buildings. I had 2 industrial gasifiers. I would have made $50 million a year off of each of them. If I would have just had the $2 million to turn them on. I even had engineers donate tens of thousands of their time to help me come up with a plan to do this, and I could have processed the local sewage for a fraction of the cost with one of the machines I had, and then made biochar out of it. And then I was going to make the biochar super inoculated with a compost tea of cow manure, which I had lagoons of manure access that I was going to compost to make the compost tea, and cool the ash or the char coming out of the bottom of the gasifiers and super inoculate it all at once with compost tea was my plan. And now that if anybody does that, I got trademark on that, and I will copyright that. It's right here in this video in public. So you do that to help yourself. I also posted about how one of my patents I wrote was radar detector in a motorcycle helmet. I was going to use Motorola and Bell helmets I wanted to do, and I figured it might have been economical to, if I got the investors just to buy Bell helmets and put Motorola radar detectors linked to the bike and to the handlebars, which now is used where you can use Bluetooth for your helmet and talk to passengers. But I wanted to be able to talk to all the bikes around and be able to control my music from the throttle and have the phone under the seat, if so, compartments for a lot of the bikes. And then sensors in the front and the back of the bike. And now if you guys do that, you're welcome to, but I get at least 33%, 50%. If anybody does those ideas, you're welcome to use them. But just know that one of these days I'm your partner. And let's see, combined solar. Everybody should be using it. You can use geothermal heat to heat your house. You can make houses out of recycled materials, spaceships, house ships. They're beautiful. They're all over the country. I posted videos, 50 shipping containers, videos or something like that. Or there's a video on 50 shipping containers. That's another good one that I'd like to share with people. Amazing farm-to-table tower gardens is a video that I've shared with hundreds of thousands of people. It's about a guy that opened an upscale restaurant in New York that he's got tower gardens on the roof, and I respect what he was doing because I really love those things. And you could turn 3 square feet into hundreds of plants versus 1 plant per average 3 square feet on a farm. So I really respect that, and the hydroponics that you can do inside or on a roof, with the sun. And I really respect that video, and I think everybody should watch it. And Amazing Homemade Gasifier will teach you a lot right there in a few minutes. I've got playlists on all of my YouTubes that will link you to 20 to 30,000 educational videos probably, and probably 10,000 hot songs. So prayers and blessings to all the filming. Shane Michael, Rogue One. Yar.